I'd say in the next 2 months, 2.5 months, that will be hired. I am going to step back and be the deputy commissioner. This new brand commissioner will be more heavy on personnel management, some budgetary stuff, have the ability to read the statutes and understand what they mean, which is great because it's only taken me, this is my 25th year, and there's still things I don't understand about some of the statutes. They're just hard to read. And if you look through the federal government, they're talking about the Federal Register up here. Read a sentence of that, and 5 of you, and I'll bet all 5 of you come up with something different. But that's neither here nor there. My main goal, or my main objective with the brand board is, when I become the deputy, is the board wants to proceed, and they have said that we will proceed with electronic certificates. Which means that the only difference between when the inspector comes to your place now is that he gets out in the front of his hood and writes down all this on a piece of paper and hands it to you. He'll have a laptop or a notebook. We haven't exactly decided what. Enter that information, it'll print out a sheet of paper, and if we have connectivity there, that information will go up to the office right away. Right now, we're behind about 45 days on some certificates, some information. We have historically, and I see former state veterinarian John Mulsby was here, but he is here. I shouldn't say was. John, excuse me for that. You can leave. No, you don't have to leave. I want you to help tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I mean, the brand board has historically always worked in partnership with the vet's office for them to be able to trace. If they have something, they will call us and we will look at our records at least to say, okay, yes, they had 200 to win here or whatever there. We can find some of that. As John knew while he was up there, there's 5 state veterinarians for the whole state of Colorado, and only 2 of them out in the field, the rest of them in the office. So, with that. So, the electronic stuff is exciting. It's something I understand and things. But I've actually been working on it since I've been up there. The main cause was, at the point when we first started talking about this, I'm talking 60 employees. At that time, we figured it was going to take $5,000 an employee to equip them to be able to do this. That's in 2003. It's 2011, and it has come down now to maybe, if we had to equip everybody, $1,200. Technology has come down that much. Things are a lot easier. But we also I have 20 inspectors with laptops through the Department of Agriculture. We have got a little bit of that indirect back. The state vet's office will help, and the brand board. We have laptops out there that they're actually using. We use some for reading Canadian cattle then. Some of them are doing their paperwork on them, which cut down on their time. A few other things. So part of that equipment is already there, out there. So that's one thing. That's another thing we're going to work on. One other thing that I can think of, at least to talk to you, and take questions, whatever you've got, is, and maybe one other is, at the last board meeting, as you all know, our brand assessments run 5 years at a time. They will be coming up for notice 1st of January 2012 at Wednesday's board meeting, which was we have, and it's an open meeting. You're all welcome. Second Wednesday normally of every month, but the brand board put out a rule notice that they're going to set the assessments at $275 per brand for next time. Now that's not set in stone, but we needed to come up with a figure to put in the rule. It won't actually become official till September, and so they are expecting anybody that has any comments or anything at the August board meeting, or any other time if you want to write something up or whatever. But anyway, at the August board meeting, the 17th, take comments. They will hold an official hearing to determine the actual price of the brand assessments in September. Now, I think, John, don't you get a notice of it? John Reed, don't you get a notice? Or somebody from this organization that gets a notice for our board meetings, don't they?
I don't.
You don't?
No, no.
Okay. I'll make a note of that when I get down here to make sure that, because I know I've got a list, I've seen the list, and most of it's email. That's one thing that's been nice, we get it out. But there's at least 60 different places that we send this notice out. Plus it's on our website, plus it's on the department's website, and a few other things. But anyway, that's one thing we talked about. Yes, Katie?
What would be the point of paying your brand assessment if we're no longer going to use brands? Is the Colorado Brand Commission board in favor of hot branding, or are they gonna fall in line with USDA and get rid of the branding?
No, the board's in favor of hot iron branding. In fact, it's easy if Kimmy calls me and says she's missing 5 black steers, and I ask her if they've got ear tag, earmark, or brand on them, and she tells me no, I said, I appreciate it. I'll write that information down. But if I find 5 black steers, I'm not sure how Kimmy's gonna be able to prove to me that they're hers, unless she has a brand on them. Though the brand is totally 100% in favor of brands. Not sure exactly how to answer. I know what you're asking. And from what I understand, what I've gleaned from the reading, and from talking to our AG a little bit, is that the listing, which many of you don't know, is USDA in their animal disease traceability plan. And the new rule that's was supposed to be published in April, John?
That's what they started talking about, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Both of it. And they think maybe July is what Keith told me the other day I talked to him. But right now, the official identification is brands are listed in that, along with several other things. In the new rules, brands will not be considered official ID under USDA. It falls into, now this is my interpretation, take it for what it's worth. John Reed and I have had some talks, a couple of others, Keith Rowe and I have had talks. Their reasoning, and the brand states, there are 17 of them in the country that have mandatory inspection. And we've all had 2 conference calls with them. And there are some states that are very upset about it because they think it affects them in different ways. What the USDA says is that for this animal disease traceability plan, whatever is official ID, all 50 states have to be able to handle, control, be able to use. Because there are only 17 states with mandatory inspection programs, that's only states that could use that per se for that reason. So that's why that's their reasoning. What they're saying is why they're delisting brands as official ID. The question has been brought up to them time and time again, are you using this so that some other group, be it Humane Society, PETA, somebody can come in and at some point down the road, a legislator can completely make it illegal to brand your livestock. So you can edit this part out, but I told them when they talked about it, they said no. I said, you know if that happens? I know this room and I know most other cattle organizations I know that make it illegal, that's fine, but they're still going to do it because that's the only way you can get your livestock back for sure. At least have a return address on those animals. Now, will it affect Colorado's brand laws? No. Also in this animal disease traceability plan that they've talked about, there is a caveat in there that says yes. The basic plan says that right now, anything over 18, there's a discrepancy, 18 months or 22 months, breeding stock leaving the state must be officially identified before it leaves the state. Unless, well, there's an inspection, brand inspection written in Colorado, they're going to Kansas, Colorado calls up Kansas, Kansas says, yes, we will take that brand inspection as a group ID for those cattle would not have to be officially identified. And it says any 2 states. So if they would go to New York and New York would accept it, that's fine. So, you know what Kimmy's saying, that no, the brand board is 100%, I've kept them up on what's going on and everything, they are not going that way. Because it said they're all producers, they believe in the brand too. They understand what's